last week, 26-0. Rob, but should be a good ball game.
It should be, and if Benton can get an established offense going, they should have the better of it tonight, all things being equal.
The officials for tonight's game: Harold Bartlett will be the referee, Jack Crow the umpire, Lewis McCullum the head linesman, Cotton Cothran will be the line judge, and the back judge will be Mike Matlock as the Arkadelphia Badgers take the field along with the fighting Benton Panthers. Let's listen. Watching down there on the sideline, Rob, I'd say the Panthers are at least ready for the kickoff.
They are indeed. They're showing a lot of spirit. If the captains tonight for the Panthers, Heath Nix, number 77, and Roger Barker, their linebacker. And for Arkadelphia, Blake Rogers and Blake Bell. The Panthers won the toss to open the game. They decided to defer their choice to the second half, and Arkadelphia will receive the first half kickoff.
So the Benton defense will be first on the line tonight in this ball game. Quickly, let's take a look at that Arkadelphia Badgers starting offensive backfield. At quarterback, they'll have Kevin Chambliss. He is a 5'8", 140-pound senior. The fullback is C.J. Turner, a 5'8", 160-pound junior. The tailback, Scott Thomas. He is a 5'9", 135-pound junior. And at flanker, Blake Bell. Bell is a 5'10", 150-pound senior. The tight end is Mark Burnham. Burnham is a 6', 160-pound junior. At right tackle is Jeff Worthington. He is 5'11", 190, a junior. He's one of the big ones. Keith Perkins at right guard, 5'9", a 170-pound senior. The center is Brady Baker, 5'11", a 180-pound junior. Mike Curry at left guard, a 5'9", 165-pound junior. At left tackle will be Denny Arnold. He's 6'3", a 200-pound senior. And the split end, Blake Rogers, 5'7", a 130-pound senior. So you can see they do not have a lot of size on that football team. That's dropping back deep to receive the kick will be Scott Thomas. He'll be the deep man to await the Benton Panther kick, as Thomas will wait back at about his own goal line. Panthers moving from right to left here in the first quarter as you listen. Ball is teed up at the 40-yard line. We're just about set to go. Football action 1989, second game of the season for the Benton Fighting Panthers. And the whistle and the kick is on the way. It'll be a short kick. It'll be taken by one of the up-backs. He led the draw, picks it up at the 20 on the hop. Back to the middle of the field. 25 has some room out over the 30-yard line. And he is swarmed at about the 31-yard line by those maroon jerseys on the kickoff coverage. Alan Bearden, one of the Panthers, down there early, along with as they say, a whole host of maroon jerseys. So set it up first and 10 at the 31-yard line of Arkadelphia. Kevin Chambliss will be at quarterback, and coming out wide to the right will be Blake Bell. Ball squarely in the middle of the field. I formation behind Chambliss. Thomas and Turner, the running backs, hand off to Thomas, the tailback. And Thomas is going to be stopped as he tries to run in behind the right side of his offensive line and picked up just about a yard, if that much, Rob. It'll set up a second down. And they'll need still between 9 and 10 for that first and 10. As he just knows the football past the line of scrimmage. This time a split backfield behind Chambliss. Chambliss calling for the football. Here's Chambliss spin. Quick pitch goes to Thomas right side. 30 cut down at the 35-yard line. As there to hit him first was Greg Mundy.
Chris Barton in on that tackle as well. Did a good job of forcing it inside.
So Mundy, who had 16 total tackles last week, I believe 6 unassisted and 10 assists. It'll set up a third down. The Badgers looking at about 5 needed for the first and 10. Ball spotted on the near hash mark. Running room will be to the Badgers' left. As wide to the left goes Blake Rogers for Arkadelphia. Again, they go back to the I formation. Kevin Chambliss, flanker last year, quarterback this year for Arkadelphia, has the football, fakes up the middle, keeps right side, 35, cut down at about the 37-yard line. I see Brian Holter there, and Dean Bird also there, and
again, there was Barton in there and Barker as well.
Barton also doing a good job defensively, so that'll run Arkadelphia out of downs. They'll punt it away as Goheen and Daniel will drop back deep in twin safeties to await the punt from Wiley high snap. He hauls it, drops the football, now gets the kick away. Wobbly kick will come to Daniel. They'll run the reverse. He'll keep it 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. Could go if he doesn't get cut off. 25, 20 is going to be hit at the 15 and falls inside the 10-yard line. Great punt return by Rick Daniel. I'll tell you one thing about this Panther team. They open it up exciting. Last week it was Goheen. This week, Rick Daniel.
They really set up the punt return very well. They faked the reverse to Goheen, and they had the wall set up to the other side. And Daniel took off, and nobody touched him until they made the tackle at the 10-yard line.
Goheen to the right side. Ball at the 10-yard line for the Panthers. First and goal, Knowles just inside the 10. Spin, handoff, Jones, left side. Jamie battles his way inside the 10. Down over the 8, maybe got it to the 7-yard line, goes Jamie Jones from his left halfback spot in the wishbone. As there's Danny Cochran with that white helmet. We've got his name this week, Rob. He made a big catch last week.
Indeed, he did.
It'll be second down and goal. Call it the 7-yard line as Cochran will come wide to the left. Yoakum to the right side at tight end. Wishbone formation. Collett spins. Handoff Jones. Jones is to be caught in the backfield and drop for a loss of a couple. Back near the 9-yard line. He might have fallen forward to the 8. We'll see where they spot the football. As Benton, with the first and goal at the 10, tries to run it in after a great punt return by Rick Daniel. Panthers set that wall up great here on the near side. It's third down and goal from the 7. As Goheen is in there, he'll come to the right side. Collett at quarterback. Left halfback is Jamie Jones. Here's a flag in the play. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones has an opening right side, and he's in for the touchdown, but a flag is down on the play. Jamie was hit about the 3 and fell into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play. So hold it right here before we start celebrating.
Preliminary signal is against Benton. I didn't see. I think it may be motion.
Looks like a motion call coming up against the Panthers, and that'll cost them the touchdown. Is pretty good hole in the right side that time for Jamie.
A good job there on the. It was a procedure penalty, by the way, and a good job by the right side of that line.
So that sets up a third down, and the Panthers looking at 12 yards needed for the first and 10. Goheen comes to the left side. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Collett spins. He wants to throw. Rolls left. He looks. Now he'll run. Drug down from behind as he gets inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. It'll be fourth and goal to go. So Panthers looking at a fourth and goal. It's looking for number 77. He is out there. Heath Nix is checking in. Ball is spotted near the 7-yard line. So about a 27-yard kick approximately by Heath Nix as he'll kick out of the hole to Jake Goheen.
Panthers learned last week that every point does count, and they'll go for the field goal here.
Make it about a 29-yard attempt. The spot will be made at, here's the ball put down. The kick is up, and the kick is just off to the side. There is timeout on the field with the score, the Benton Panthers nothing, Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium as the pitch goes to Scott Thomas as Thomas tries the left side for the Badgers. He's out over the 20. He got maybe to the 22-yard line.
Good job by Jared Hambrick on the tackle there.
So Hambrick defensively for the Panthers. Arkadelphia looking at a second down. They'll still need about 9 for the first and 10 as the ball is nose of the football just at the 21-yard line. Second down and 9 for the Badgers.
Turns out to be a big penalty on the Panthers on that last series. They had the touchdown. They had to settle for the field goal, and then the field goal was just off to the left, and they come up empty.
Shamlis sets them in split backs behind him this time. Man in motion back to the near side. Long count by Chambliss. Here's Chambliss, rolls right, wants to throw, looking, gets a pass away. Let's see, did he catch it or was it a trap? Incomplete at the 28-yard line, as the pass was intended for Wiley, and Wiley trapped it just shy of the 30-yard line. So it's 3rd down and 9 for Arkadelphia. Ball at their own 21-yard line. 6:29 left to play in the first quarter. So the Badgers looking at a 3rd and long. We have no score. Panthers were knocking on the door just a moment ago after a great punt return, but could not stick it in the end zone. 3rd down and 9. Split backs, quarterback Chambliss, inside reverse, big hole left side, 30, 35-yard line. Is with a carry was Blake Bell, and Bell picks up the first and 10 yardage out of the 30 to about the 35, 37-yard line, and the flag is down at the end of that play, Rob.
It's an inside handoff. Now a personal foul is going to be tacked on to it. A big play for Arkadelphia, a trap play up the middle, and the hole popped open big, and now tack on 15 yards to that.
So after the great gain, 15 yards added on to it. That'll move the ball into Panther territory. Set it up 1st and 10 at the Panther 48-yard line. 6:22 left to play in the first quarter.
That's a couple of big penalties against the Panthers. That's really uncharacteristic of a Benton Panther team.
Coming out wide to the right will be Blake Bell, the flanker. Ball is squarely in the middle of the field. Once again, that split backfield or pro set, man in motion back to the near side is Bell. Here's Chambliss, hand off to his fullback as C.J. Turner tries the left side. He gets a couple of tough yards. Got it maybe to the 46 as we wait till they unpile. Ball will be spotted up near the 46. We'll set up a 2nd down. Barker and Hambrick in on the play defensively for the Panthers. Nose of the football is just shy of the Panther 45-yard line, 2nd down. Badgers looking at 7 for the 1st and 10. Blake Bell comes wide to the right. Also wide receiver to the left side. That's Blake Rogers. High formation again, this time behind Chambliss. Converted flanker. Handoff to C.J. Turner. He's not big, but he's a tough runner, and he fights his way down near the 41-yard line. We have C.J. Turner listed at only 160. He ran a little bigger than that time.
Ran strong and carried Heath Nix, dragged him a couple of yards.
It'll be 3rd down and about 2 needed for the 1st and 10. Nose of the football for the Badgers, just shy of the Benton Panther 40. No score, 5:02 left to play, first quarter. Again, Blake Bell will come wide to the right. And Blake Rogers goes wide left. High formation on a 3rd down and 2 for Chambliss and Arkadelphia. High formation. Chambliss, quick throw over the middle, incomplete. Pass was intended that time for Malvern's Mark Burnham, but it was just over his head, falls incomplete. Stops the clock, 4:49.
One of the Benton defenders got a hand on that, tipped the pass, and that's really why it was off the line there. I didn't catch the number of the Panther that got a hold of it, but it was over there on the side of Adam Wright and Heath Nix. Roger Barker working on that side too. So credit one of those guys with a knockdown there.
It is 4th down and 2, and I'm not sure Benton's convinced that they're going to punt it on this one. They're lined up in punt formation as Wiley is in punt formation. Goheen deep, single safety for the Panthers. Here's a snap. Wiley will punt the football, and Goheen waits for the fair catch as the ball sails to the 5 and lands at the 5 and in and out of the end zone for the touchback. Panthers put it in play, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Well, a couple of penalties hurt the Panthers, but they come out of it okay, get the ball back at their own 20-yard line, but they gave up a lot of field position, Rob.
They did indeed. Arkadelphia gets the advantage of the field position now, and it's up to Benton's offense to reestablish something and pick up a couple of first downs, maybe change this field position around, maybe put together one of those long drives to really take the steam out of Arkadelphia.
Wishbone formation behind Collins. He calls for the football, spins, handoff. Jamie Jones right side, breaks a couple of tackles up near the 25-yard line. As Jamie broke a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage and picked up about 4. They'll mark it at about the 24. Panthers will face a 2nd down and 6. As Matt Welch will check in with the play from the sideline.
Looks like Jamie's really running well tonight. That one, he high-stepped through a tackle. That touchdown run that was called back, he ran real well. So maybe a big night for Jamie Jones tonight.
Second down and 6. Panthers wishbone. Collett comes down the line. Hands off to the fullback. Let's see who's in there fullback on this particular series as they unpile.
It's Greg Little, I believe.
That's Greg Little. It was Little on the carry, and he's going to be out over the 25 up near the 28-yard line. It'll be third down. Panthers will need 2 as Rick Daniel will check into the huddle. 3:44 left to play. Well, I must say the Pet Steppers and the band are
doing their part
tonight, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
It is third down and 2. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Panthers need 2 for the 1st and 10. Collett comes down the line, hands off to the first man through. It's going to be piled up at about the 30-yard line.
So it'll all be a matter of where they mark this one. Greg Little on the bottom of that pile.
Again, it was Greg Little on the carry.
It's right on the yard line, and they may have marked it. Yes, if it touches the yard line, they marked it at the
1st
30.
and 10 Panthers, because the Nosebleed football is right at the 30-yard marker. This drive started on the 20. 1st and 10 Panthers, 3:21 left to play in the first quarter, as Danny Cochran will check into that Panther huddle as plays come in with the wide receivers from the Benton sideline here on the near side. Cochran will go wide to the right. Yoakum, the tight end, to the left side. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett, comes down the line on the option. He wants to keep. Breaks the tackle. He's over the 30 up near the 33-yard line.
Boy, if he'd been able to pitch that out to Greg Rogers, Greg had a lot of room to run, but a little duress there. He was under a little duress and didn't risk the pitch.
Lamont Berth is in on the play defensively for Arkadelphia. It'll be second down and about 8 after a pickup of just over 2 for the Panthers. Matt Welch will come wide to the left, short side of the field, running room to the Panthers' right. They're in the wishbone behind Collett. Collett has the snap. Collett comes down the line, right side option. Pitch goes to Jones, right side. Jones, 30, tries to turn the corner, is cut down at about the 33. Might have fallen forward to the 34-yard line. Goes Jamie Jones.
Did a good job of ducking down and ducking his head and getting every yard he could get on that one. He cut it back a little bit and picked up all the way up to the 36, looks like.
It's spotted at the 36, so it's going to be third down, and the Panthers still need about 5 for the 1st and 10. As the ball at the 36. Panthers looking at between 4 and 5, needed for the 1st and 10, as Cochran comes wide to the left. Wishbone formation again. Collett has it. Fakes up the middle. Collett now rolls left. Little play action pass. Wants to throw down the field. It's going to be tipped to the line of scrimmage, look like, and falls incomplete. He wanted Danny Cochran running a fly pattern down the near sideline. But that'll run the Panthers out of downs with 1:47 left to play in the first quarter. And let's see who'll handle the punting. Will it be Goheen or Holter?
Looks like Brian Holter's in there.
Panthers had some difficulty with punts last week. It is Brian Holter in punt formation. As back deep is Scott Thomas in single safety for the Badgers. Line of scrimmage, the Benton 36-yard line. Late first quarter. Snap to Holter. Holter takes his time, gets a kick away. It's a low, wobbly kick. Thomas will take it on the fly at the 33. Cuts to the near sideline. He is cut down at the 34-yard line by, I believe, Dean Bird down there.
Oh, that was Greg Mundy.
Greg Mundy.
He's the snapper for the punts, and he took off and it was the first one down there and made a great tackle.
Made a great open field tackle at the 34-yard line for the Badgers, 1st and 10. 1:39 left to play in the first quarter. We have no score between the Panthers and the Badgers. Both these teams looking for win number 1 in the 1989 season. As Arkadelphia goes back in offense, they have Kevin Chambliss at quarterback. Split backfield behind him. Wide receivers to either side of the field. Here's Chambliss, fakes to Thomas, bootlegs left, tries to pass, and he's had pressure put on him. That was Greg Mundy again.
That man again.
Greg Mundy putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
He actually hit his arm and caused him to throw it short like that. Hit his arm as it was coming forward, and a big play there by Greg Mundy, who's made a lot of big plays already this season and probably make a lot more this season. He's an all-state candidate if there ever was one.
Arkadelphia looking at second down and 10. The nose of the football is just shy of their 35-yard line, as going out wide to the left is Wiley. I formation behind Chambliss at quarterback. Arkadelphia in the I, no score. Chambliss wants to throw. No fake. Throws down the middle. Incomplete.
And that was just flat underthrown there.
Keith Wiley, the intended receiver, but badly underthrown at about the 43-yard line. Rob, would you flip the light on for me?
I wish I could find it. Whoop.
So we have a third down and 10 now for Arkadelphia from their own 34-yard line, or actually call it the 35. Closer to the 35-yard line, 3rd and 10. It's a minute 10 left to play in the first quarter. Panther defense digs in on a 3rd down play as Chambliss brings him to the line of scrimmage. Back split behind him. Long count. Chambliss has it. He hands to Thomas, who hands it back on the inside reverse. And the play went to Blake Bell, and nothing doing as he was lucky to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
That was really, it was hard to see on that play, but again, Mundy was the reason that play didn't work. He had submarined under there and was actually under a blocker and just reached up and caught just enough of Bell to knock him down and keep that play from being a good gainer.
So Goheen and Daniel will drop back at their 30-yard line to await the kick from Wiley. Here's the snap. Wiley gets the kick away. It's a high, spiraling, good kick over Goheen's head. Lands at the 20. Takes an Arkadelphia bounce. It's going to luckily roll into the end zone. That came dangerously close to slowing down as it rolled inside the 10.
Quite a punt. Ends up being a 66-yard punt.
It was a good kick anyway. Nice spiral on it, but it got a great roll as it landed at about the 20 and rolled all the way into the end zone. So again, the Panthers will be forced to start at their own 20-yard line. 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. No score. Panther football on K107 FM in Benton. As Daniel was trying to get to the huddle, didn't quite make it, picks up the play. He'll come out wide to the left side. Panthers remain in the wishbone. They have not broken the bone so far tonight. Here's Collett. Collett hand to Jamie Jones. Fake to Jones, made a good fake, and he's going to be dumped in the backfield. As Collett on the keeper is dumped back inside his 15-yard line, back near the 14-yard line.
Panthers had run that play a couple of 3 times, and it's been wide open for Collett to either run or pass. And that time, the block wasn't made on the defensive end, and he came in and got and dropped Collett for the loss.
Loss all the way back to near the 14-yard line. Call it 2nd down, and the Panthers will need 16. Matt Welch comes wide to the left side, short side of the field. Panthers have running room to their right as the first quarter comes to an end with the score. Benton nothing, Arkadelphia nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium, Larry Hart along with Rob Patrick, and pretty interesting first quarter, Rob.
Really was. Both teams showed flashes. A good defense really was the story of the first quarter. That and the one, the couple of penalties, the one major penalty, I guess, the chance that Benton had to score, the touchdown call back, and then the missed field goal. Otherwise, both teams have been bottled up pretty much.
Benton has 2nd down and 18 as Matt Welch goes wide to the left side for the Panthers. There in the wishbone. Handoff goes to the right halfback as he battles his way up over the 20. Got near the 20-yard line as Greg Rogers on the carry for the Panthers. And Rogers is out over the 15, got it to about the 18, so the Panthers still looking at 3rd and extremely long. 3rd, they'll lead about 12 for the 1st and 10. Just underway here in the second quarter. We have no score. Panthers have had the deepest penetration. They got as far as the 7-yard line and actually scored, but had a touchdown call back on a procedure call. Panthers at the line of scrimmage in the bone. Here's Collett, and Collett rolls right. Play action pass, looking downfield, looking, gets a pass away, throws it into heavy coverage, and it's incomplete. Intended for Drew Yoakum at about the 34-yard line, and he had 3 men draped all over him.
Collett really did a great job of threading the needle there. He had a man deep, but he was covered. That was Cochran, and then the tight end Yoakum coming across the middle, and there were 3 men around him, but he got it in there, and Yoakum tried to make a hand catch, and the guys were there, the defenders were there to knock it away before he could cradle it.
Panthers will punt the football away. Back deep will be Scott Thomas for the Badgers. He'll stand just inside his 45, and once again, Brian Holter will handle the punting chores for the Panthers as he'll stand back near his goal line. Here's the snap to Holter. Again, he takes his time, gets a kick away, a low end-over-end kick taken by Thomas at the 48, far side, into Panther territory, 46, 45, breaks a couple of tackles up near the 40-yard line, goes Scott Thomas. Scott Thomas, he's not big either, 5'9", 135, and he was running hard. Arkadelphia with good field position following that punt return of Holter's punt. Official will spot the ball in Panther territory at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, early second quarter. We have no score. Running room will be to Arkadelphia's left, as coming out wide to the left will be Blake Rogers. High formation behind Chambliss. Chambliss has the snap, comes left, tries to get a pitch away. It's picked up by the Panthers, 50, 45. Brian Holter, 20, and drugged down at the 15-yard line. That was Brian Holter.
It was Brian Holter that time. We know that. And the big hit was put on there. I'm not sure who put the hit on. It may have been Monday on that side. It may have been Jared Hambrick. Whoever it was came across. It may have been the defensive end on that side. Came across and knocked the quarterback as he was making the pitch. Holter picked it up and ran it down all the way to the 15, 16-yard line. 16-yard line. Brian got a perfect bounce on it, took it on the run. 1st and 10, Panthers at the Arkadelphia 16-yard line. Goheen comes wide to the right. Wishbone formation. Here's Collett, handoff Jones, right side, big hole. Jamie, 10, 5, drugged down at the 5-yard line is Jamie Jones. Made a nice cut on that to get free and get outside and pick up another 5 yards. Beautiful cut by Jamie Jones. Matt Welch will check in with the play from the sideline. Ball will be spotted right at the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Panthers. Nose of the football at the 5. Panthers will have running room to their left. Coming to the short side of the field will be Matt Welch. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett, handoff Jones again, big hole right side. He dives to the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, Jamie Jones. Good blocking on that side. Really opened up things for Jones, and the Panthers are on the board. Jamie Jones, working behind the right side of that Panther offensive line, had a big hole. He was hit about the goal line and dove forward into the end zone. Touchdown coming with 9:58 left to play in the first quarter. Benton takes the lead at 6-0. Sam McCampbell, the right guard. Tony Hester, the right tackle. Drew Yoakum was in on that play at the end position, and Roger Barker in on the at the right halfback to help lead that play as well. And the Panthers are going for 2, Rob. They're going for 2. Wishbone behind Collett. Here's Collett to try that same play again, and Jones this time will be stacked up at about the line of scrimmage. Timeout on the field, 9:58 left to play in the second quarter with the score, Benton 6, Arkadelphia nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back live at C.W. Lewis Stadium as the Panthers have just taken a 6-0 lead on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jamie Jones. Well, what do you think the reasoning on the 2 points on that one at this point in the game? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that Coach Fight had a reason. So the Panthers will kick off. It'll be Scott Thomas back deep for Arkadelphia. He'll stand at about his 8-yard line to await the kick. High, nice kick. Will come to Thomas at the 9. Back over the 10, 15. Thomas the 20, the 25. Some running room over the 30. Fumble on the play. Big scramble for it up near the 35-yard line. A flag goes into that pile as Thomas coughed up the football as he was hit as he came across his own 30-yard line. Benton's football. Looks like Adam Wright came up with it. From here, looked like Adam Wright with a fumble recovery, and Benton takes over again following another fumble recovery. Another turnover. They'll have it just inside
The Arkadelphia 35-yard line call at the 34.
I don't know who made that hit. It was an open field tackle initially, and I should have been paying closer attention because they really jarred the ball loose and caused that fumble. And there's a big scramble for it, and up came Adam Wright with the football.
So the Panthers have come up with their second straight turnover. They're in the wishbone behind Collett. Collett calling for the football, has it on the snap. Handoff Jones, right side again, and Jones just pulls his way inside the 30 down near the 28-yard line.
Jamie looking good tonight. He's really running with some authority, which is something they were looking for all their running backs to show a little bit more of, and Jamie certainly picked up that notion and taken it to heart.
Looked like this Panther team came to play tonight as Matt Welch would check in for the Panthers with the play from the sideline. Collett will send him wide to the left side. They'll come up in the wishbone. They have not broken the bone so far here in the first half. 8:55 left to play in the half.
I think Coach White really wanted to establish a running game if he could tonight, and they're doing
Collett
it.
handoff Jones again, right side. Jones inside the 25, down to the 24, maybe the 23-yard line. They'll mark it closer to the 24.
Nifty little skip move there to get a little outside and pick up a few extra yards.
8:47 left to play as Danny Cochran will check into the ball game as the Benton coaching staff using those wide receivers to run plays in and out. Cochran will go wide to the left side, ball squarely in the middle of the field.
He's got Greg Mundy and Roger Barker in the backfield. They've been doing some blocking for Jones, running right behind him.
Here's Collett. He almost fumbled the snap, but did get the handoff to Roger Barker, and Barker's inside the 20, or right at the 20 is where they'll mark it. Those of the football will be right at the 20.
This is the first Barker has worked at fullback. He's been working at halfback, and it's first we've seen Mundy in the backfield. He's been tonight is the first night he's been in the backfield for the Panthers this year, and those two have really helped in keying the running attack, I think, by leading the way for Jones.
So it is Mundy and Barker. Wishbone formation. Here's Collett on the option as he hands off Barker. Barker's inside the 15 to the 10. Inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line goes Roger Barker. Well, for not many carries, it looked good on that one.
He's a strong athlete. I tell you, really a specimen, 6'3", 210, the perfect linebacker size, and he gives Benton some real power in the backfield as well, and that was a good run there. He ran up behind David McGee and ran off of his block.
Gives him a
up extra yardage.
First and goal at the 9. Perry split out wide to the left. Here's Collett. Handoff left side. Jamie Jones. Jamie at the 5-yard line. Breaks the tackle. Dives to about the 2. Jamie Jones came to play. You can say that.
He picked up every yard he could on that play. Got outside and dove for the corner and made it to the 2.
So it's second and goal for the Panthers from the 2. 7:10 left to play in the first half. Panthers lead 6-0 on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jamie Jones. Danny Cochran will go wide to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Yoakum, the tight end, to the right side. Wishbone formation. Handoff goes to Greg Mundy, and Mundy is going to fight his way down to about the 1-yard line. Looks kind of funny to see Big Nut in the 36 taking the handoff.
He gave it everything he had. He wasn't going to go down easy. He struggled for that yard as they hit him right at the line of scrimmage.
It'll be third down and goal. Matt Welch is coming in. Greg Mundy is coming out of the ball game. Welch will be the wide receiver. He will come to the right side of the field. Third down and goal for the Panthers.
James Harville in for McGee at the left guard, too.
Here's Collett, spins, handoff Jones, dives. Let's see, no indication yet. No indication yet as he dove as he got to the line of scrimmage, and I don't believe he made it, Rob.
Boy, it was really close, but they're saying that he was stopped in midair there and just got to the 1-inch line.
Maybe he left his feet just an inch too soon. It's fourth down and goal to go for the Panthers. Already leading 6-0. Cochran in for the Panthers. He comes wide to the left. Rogers at right halfback. Jones at left halfback. And movement on the left side. Let's see, was that a trick play?
That's and they're not giving it to him. They're not going to give it to him.
He was in the end zone, and they're not giving it to him.
It's one of Benton's, Coach Pite's favorite plays. It's a quarterback sneak where only the center and the quarterback move. They just snap the ball, and that time Collett stumbled actually over Jake Watney's foot as he was getting started, and he fell down, and they marked it where his knee went down, which is right at the 1-inch line, and they're held.
The nose of that football is right there on the marker. 5:38 left to play, but Arkadelphia backed up at their, call it the 1-yard line. Actually, it's the 1-foot line, as wide to the left will come Blake Rogers.
That's usually a really effective play because it catches the defense off guard, but this time it just didn't work.
Here's Chambliss trying to find some running room, hands off to his fullback, C.J. Turner. Benton's indicating that there might have been a fumble on the play, but I don't believe so.
They really tried to submarine in there and stack that play up and maybe get a safety called there, and Turner's limping. They really it's right on the goal line now. He didn't get any yardage.
He didn't get anything on that one, Rob. It's still second down, and call it 10 from right around officially the 1-yard line. 4:50 left to play, first half.
Something you like to see is the defense picking up for the offense there. They didn't get it in, so the defense is going to try to stiffen up here and really make it hard for Arkadelphia.
High formation, handoff Thomas. He tries the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets some running room and some working room for the Badgers out near the 5-yard line. The Panther defense let him break a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he is out near the 5, but it's third, and they'll still need better than 5 for the 1st and 10. Clock running, 4:29 left to play in the first half.
They can hold them here and force a punt out of their own end zone. They can come up with some good field position and have a chance to score again before the half.
Rogers wide left, Bell goes wide right, third down. High formation behind Chambliss. Here's Chambliss, spins, handoff Thomas. He's going to be piled up at the line of scrimmage.
Really stacked him up. A good job by that Benton defense on that series.
They did stack it up. I see Brian Holter is there from his linebacker spot and getting up off the bottom of the pile. Is that Greg Mundy?
Dean Bird in there.
Dean Bird is in there. So a good defensive play, and Benton should wind up with great field position and the way they've been returning punts.
The way they blocked that one last week, you might think of them going for the block here. But it looks like they're lining up to set up the return.
Goheen and Daniel back at about the Badger 45-yard line to await the wily kick. No rush. They'll set up the return. Nice, high, spiraling kick. Drives Goheen way back over his head. Takes an Arkadelphia roll inside the 30, inside the 25. Goheen now picks it up, wants to return it. He's going to be hit down across the 30 at about the 31-yard line.
What a kick.
Mercy, what a kick. From his own end zone. That ball landed at about the 40, if I'm correct, Rob.
It rolled down to the 25, and it ended up a 65-yard kick, a 6-yard return.
And just a beautiful spiraling kick. Goheen finally chased it down, returned it back out to the Panther 31-yard line. Clock is running with 3:25 left to play in the first half. Panthers lead 6-0. As they just missed a golden opportunity moments ago, but they've got the ball back. They're in the wishbone. Collett spins. Collett wants to throw. Play action. Rolls left. Looks downfield. Looks long for Cochran. Oh, that's almost a spectacular catch at the 35-yard line. He extended that body at about the 35, had his hands and arms on it, and I thought he had it.
He just sacrificed himself to try to catch that pass. He almost came down with it. The ball bounced underneath him as he hit the ground, and a good effort.
And a great listen to the hand from the fans. Great effort by Danny Cochran. Matt Welch will check back in as a wide receiver for the Panthers. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 3:08 left to play in the first half.
Again, that rollout worked real well. Collett had time to throw, and we may see more of that as the evening goes along because it's been successful all but once. They haven't completed any passes, but they've had Collett's had a chance to throw them.
2nd and 10. Collett, handoff. Jones. Jones breaks the tackle to the line of scrimmage. Jones breaks another tackle to the 32, 35-yard line. Falls forward to the 38-yard line. Jamie Jones again. He loves that right side tonight.
He's getting good blocking over there. Although that time he really used the first block real well and then got outside and got everything he could again taking a dive when he was losing his footing at the end.
Did a lot of that on his own. It is 3rd down, and the Panthers need about 3 for the 1st and 10 from just shy of the 38-yard line. Goheen comes to the short side of the field, the right side, near side. Panthers move from left to right as you listen. Quick pass to Goheen. Out on the flat, it's going to be caught up at about the 43-yard line. It is complete to Goheen.
Nice catch. He caught it right off his shoe tops and got a first down out of it and stopped the clock.
1st and 10 Panthers. They'll mark it up near the Benton 43-yard line. And 2:24 left to play in the first half.
First completion for Collett.
So the clock begins to run now with the movement of the chains. Benton has it, their own 43-yard line. Cochran comes wide. Cochran's coming he is wide to the right, very near that near sideline. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett, play action again. He rolls right. He'll run. Collett 45, Collett 50. Collett hit hard at about the 46-yard line, but he stayed on his feet, never did go down.
He had a good collision with Brian Brownlee, and he got the better of it. Ducked his head and got more yardage.
Collett just went on, and they'll mark it at the Arkadelphia 46-yard line. Another 1st and 10 for the Panthers. They're on the move as this drive started, back at their 26 or 31. 1st and 10, Panthers, 2:03 left to play in the first half. Ball is marked at the 46 of Arkadelphia.
So far, this has been as impressive a drive as Benton's put together. They're going to have to use a timeout now because they're not getting the play in.
Panthers take a timeout, 2:03 left to play in the first half of the score. Benton 6, Arkadelphia nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium, scoreboard clock showing 2:03 left to play in the first half. Benton holding on to a 6-0 lead, so this Arkadelphia team has almost gone 6 quarters without a score so far, Rob.
And, they've got to be frustrated. For a moment, I'd like to talk about Benton, too, the fact that they have had some frustration, some adversity in this game, and it's something that they really worked on the mental aspect of the game during this week because they did have that letdown against Malvern. And they haven't let it phase them. They've been turned back a couple of times when they were close in, actually had one touchdown called back. And here they are. The defense had a good series. Now the offense is putting together a good drive. So that's got to be encouraging to Dwight Fight and the Benton fans.
Panthers will have running room to their left as Gohane will be split wide to the left. They come out of the bone for the first time tonight. Lone back behind Collett. Rogers in motion back to the left side. Here's Collett, wants to throw, rolls left, throws down the middle. It is complete inside the 35-yard line as a completion to Gohane.
Gohane made a great catch on that. It was actually behind him. He was cutting across the field, and he just turned back and caught it. Good job.
Panthers rack up another first down on that completion as the ball will be spotted at the 33-yard line of Arkadelphia. 1st and 10, Panthers.
Collett did a good job, too, to get that away under pressure.
Late second quarter. Daniel will come wide to the right this time. Again, a lone back behind Brad Collett. Collett has the snap, wants to throw. Now he'll back up some, gets pressure. He's going to be dropped, sacked back at his own 43-yard line. As in there defensively, the number 57, not on our roster for Arkadelphia, got there, one of the first to get to him, and they'll mark it back at the 42. So a loss on the play back to the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. It'll be second down. Panthers looking at about 17, 18 yards needed for the 1st and 10. Clock running with a minute 10 left to play first half. Let's see what formation. Again, they'll come up. Rogers will come to the right side.
They don't have enough men on the field.
I don't think they do either. They'll have to call another timeout. As
too many people came off the field.
Gohane came out. I believe Rick Daniel came out. So the Panthers will have to use up another timeout. With a score, the Panthers 6 and Arkadelphia nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Well, the Panthers had to use up, I believe, their second timeout here in the first half, Rob, as they did not have enough men on the field. Gohane is checking in now.
They've been making a lot of substitutions, getting different formations and different players on the field for the situations, and that time 3 came off and only 2 came on. And I think Coach Fight had a talk with somebody on that during that timeout about being ready to go in when they needed them.
1:02 left to play in the first half as the Panthers are at the line of scrimmage. Collett sets his offense in the wishbone this time on a second down play. Second and long. Quick pass out in the flat. Intended for Goheen. He's got it. 35. Breaks the tackle. Breaks back to the inside of the field. We're going to be knocked down at the 31-yard line.
That showed a strong arm. He threw that all the way across the field and just out of the reach of a defensive player. And Goheen caught it in the seam and picked up some extra yardage with his running.
It was almost one of those John Elway passes, wasn't it?
Really?
He rifled it to Goheen, and Goheen broke a tackle, got it to the 33-yard line, but the Panthers still looking at third and long. And they still need about 9 for the 1st and 10 as they come to the line of scrimmage. Running room to the Panthers' left. Cochran split right. Play action, rolling right. Collett looking for Cochran. Cochran's downfield. He's open. He makes no catch. Just inside the 5. We lost him in the Arkadelphia band standing on the sideline. Looked like he had cradled that right at the sideline.
It looked like he had made the catch and had it knocked out of his hands as they knocked him out of bounds. He caught it with 2 guys on him and just at the sideline. I thought maybe they might have called him for being out of bounds, but it looked like that the ball was jarred loose in the collision.
So it's now 4th down. The Panthers still need 9. That stops the clock with 29 seconds left to play. Wishbone formation on a 4th down play, 4th down and 9 as Collett sets his offense. Wide right, Goheen. Here's Collett. Quick pass, Goheen. Goheen almost makes a nice grab at the 20, but he was hit hard. Benton fans wanting interference. But that'll run the Panthers out of downs. Arkadelphia will take over on downs with 21 seconds left.
That was very close to interference, but the timing was so close that it's the official's discretion, and he called it a good hit, an incomplete pass, and Benton has to give up the football.
I think number 38 ought to be on the roster, don't you?
I think he's earned it, and 63, the kickoff man.
Yeah, he's not on there either.
That's Reed Kaufman, by the way.
Split backfield behind the quarterback, Shamlis. Here's Shamlis, handoff to Thomas. Thomas breaks tackles 35, 40, up to the 45-yard line before he is really driven back hard by the Benton defense.
Cliff Phillips made a great open field tackle, just form tackle is what they call that, just hit him straight up.
Just put the helmet in the middle of his chest, didn't he?
Good job there, and it used up a good nine seconds, but they've still got time for a couple of tries at a score anyway.
Arkadelphia will burn a timeout here. We'll keep it right here with 12 seconds left to play in the first half. Well, I think Coach Veit overall has to be pleased with his first half performance of the Panthers. And like you say, they've overcome some adversity. They've had the touchdown call back. They had 1st and goal to go at the 7. They had 1st and goal to go at actually about the 1-inch line and couldn't put it in.
And they keep fighting back. They're not letting it get to them so far. And if they can continue to do that, it looks like they are the superior team. If they can continue to persevere, and they're bound to get a break and get some more points on the board. The defense has really played well and bottled up Arkadelphia for the most part in this game, and that's if they continue to do that, then victory is certainly within their grasp.
Time back in. Badgers to the line of scrimmage. Shamlis sets his offense. Split backfield behind him. Shamlis will hand off to Thomas, and Thomas will be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
There's that man again.
Greg Mundy on the bottom of the pile, getting up very slowly. He's had a good first half, has even played some offense. As the final second will tick off the scoreboard clock. That is the end of the first half with our score. Benton 6, the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment.
The offensive side, the defense certainly hasn't had any breakdowns, or very few.
We'll be looking at our first road game next week, 1 week from tonight, down in Sheridan. What do you know about that Yellow Jacket team?
They're a young team. They beat Bryant last week 21-7, which had to be encouraging to them. They are really looking forward to playing Benton. It's of course, the 2 towns so close together, and the teams haven't played in a long while, if at all. I'm not sure of the history of the rivalry, but it's something that I think the Sheridan folks are really looking forward to, getting a chance to play Benton because of Benton's program being as successful as it has in the past, and Sheridan certainly has tradition as well, so it should be an instant rivalry.
So Heath Nix and Roger Barker out there for the Panthers, and they have given the indication that they will receive to open up the second half as the Arkadelphia Badgers come back out onto the field. And here in the third quarter, the Panthers will be moving from left to right. As you listen, Panthers with a 6-0 lead. That 6 points coming on a 5-yard touchdown run by Jamie Jones. 24 minutes of high school football action left.
It's interesting that they changed the strategy. The offense will get the ball and try to move it, and I guess we'll see what happens.
You know, one thing, early in the season, first couple of ball games, there haven't been a lot of jumping offside penalties. We've had a few motion penalties, but not a lot of those. For this
well, after those first 2 penalties in this game were the one that negated the touchdown, and the other that came from the defense that helped helped Arkadelphia with their first drive, or an early drive they had. There hasn't been any penalties. Arkadelphia hadn't had any, and Benton hasn't had any since then. So it's been a very well played game, considering it's the second game of the season.
Both teams still on the sideline. I believe we have time for one more 30-second message before the second half kickoff, as Panther football will continue in a moment. Jones.
Phillips.
Jones, Cliff Phillips.
Rogers and Hughes.
Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium, as Cliff Phillips, Jamie Jones will be the deepest backs. A couple of the up backs, Rogers and Hughes, for the Panthers. As we said, the Panthers moving from left to right. As Keith Nelson will kick off for Arkadelphia, he'll tee it up at the 40. Jones to the far side and Cliff Phillips to the near side to await the kick. Panthers lead 6-0 as we're just about set to get underway here for the second half.
Arkadelphia's offense is bound to feel a little frustration having hadn't scored at all.
Here's the kick. It's short. It'll come at the 20, 25-yard line. That's Hughes out over the 30 and banged down hard at the 33. Might have fallen forward to about the 34. Roger Hughes on the return, one of the upbacks, as it was not a deep kick, so Benton with pretty decent field position to open up this first drive of the second half. Call at the 33-yard line on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers. Ball spotted over near the far hash mark, as Goheen will come split out wide to the right, wide side of the field. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Here's Collett, fake to gives to the fullback, as he's piled up as he comes across the 35 to about the 36-yard line.
Greg Little.
It is
Greg Little in there.
Greg Little on the carry. And he is stopped out over the 35, shy of the 37-yard line to pick up a close to 3 at second down. Panthers need about 7 for the 1st and 10. Greg Little will check out of the ball game. Rick Daniel is in. Daniel will come wide to the right. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Collett again fakes, gives to the fullback, and Hughes on the carry is going to be up to about the 40, across the 40. They'll mark it right around the 40-yard line. Shy of the first down by about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down. Panthers need about 4 for the 1st and 10. Nose of the football is right at the Panther 40-yard line.
Going back to the base offense of the Wishbone, working the fullback in the middle.
Matt Welch, wide right for the Panthers. Wishbone, Collett sets them. Fake fullback. Collett keeps right side. He's going to be swarmed at about the 41-yard line. About 3 yards shy of the first down marker. As Collett on the keeper to the right is pulled down. That'll run the Panthers out of downs. They'll punt it away.
Kelly Wiley made a good play on that, coming across from his defensive end position to force Collett to turn it up, and there was some help there for him, and that stopped the play.
Brian Holter handled the punting in the first half, and he'll be back there this time. He'll kick it away, as back deep for the Badgers will be Scott Thomas. He'll await the kick inside his 30. Brian takes his time. Nice, high, spiraling kick. Fair catch as it drives Thomas all the way back to his 12-yard line. Great kick by Brian Holter.
Coach White said that both Holter and Goheen have been really booming some kicks in practice. It's just that they have not been consistent, and that was an indication there of what Brian Holter can do, and he's been a little more consistent tonight and gotten off some good punts. That, by far, his best.
It looks like he's taking an awful lot of time to get things just right, doesn't it?
It does. He's very, what would you call it?
deliberate.
Deliberate, that's the word I was thinking of.
High formation behind Chambliss. Arkadelphia's ball just over their 10-yard line. Chambliss keeps right side, breaks a couple of tackles. He's out near the 15, got it to the 15, maybe the 16, as Kevin Chambliss, the little 5'8", 140-pound senior quarterback on the carry. He played flanker for the Badgers last year. We're just underway. 9:34 left to play in the third quarter. It'll be second down. The Badgers need about 7.
Arkadelphia is not a really experienced team. They only had 6 lettermen back this year and 2 starters, and those 2 starters were moved this year to different positions. So everybody kind of in a new situation for them, and they're having a little trouble gelling this season so far, particularly on offense.
At the line of scrimmage, Chambliss calls. Quick pitch goes to Thomas right side. He cuts it up back against the grain. He's over the 15 and knocked down at about the 16-yard line. Might have got it to the 17-yard line, and a lot of maroon jerseys there once again. We see Roger Barker there. And Phillips also there for the Panthers. So it's third down, and the Badgers need about 5 for the 1st and 10. Benton leads 6-0. On a touchdown run by Jamie Jones, 5 yards. Third down, 5. Split backfield behind Chambliss. Chambliss has his offense set. Hands off Thomas, left side, finds some running room. He's up near the 20-yard line, but he'll be shy of the first down marker by about 2 yards, Rob.
That time they had Turner lined up in the tailback position. He's been playing fullback and gave it to him deep, and he just didn't get quite enough.
That runs Arkadelphia out of down, so Wiley will check in to punt for the Badgers, and once again, Goheen and Rick Daniel will drop back deep for the Panthers. They'll stand back near their 40-yard line to await the kick. He's gotten off a couple of dandies tonight. Here's another. This one's a wobbly end-over-end kick. Lands at the 45, takes an Arkadelphia bounce into Panther territory. Goheen backs away from it, and the Badgers will down it at the Panther 47-yard line. But again, good field position for the Fighting Panthers.
He's really the kicker. Wiley's been really Arkadelphia's biggest weapon so far. He really switched the field position a couple of times in the first half. That time the kick wasn't as good, but he kicked it away from the return men and got a pretty good roll on it.
Matt Welch is in the game. He's at a wide receiver, wide right for the Panthers. Wishbone formation behind Collett. Panthers set offense. Collett has the snap, comes down the line on the option. He'll keep 45, cut down at about the 48-yard line. As there to greet him defensively was Richard Moss. In on the tackle for the Arkadelphia Badgers. Badgers shut out last week, 26-0. They've been shut out so far tonight. It's 6-0. Panthers looking at a second down. They'll need about 8 for the 1st and 10. Ball up near the Panther 48-yard line. Danny Cochran is back in the ball game. Sophomore with that white helmet on. He'll come wide to the right. Panthers with their maroon jerseys. Wishbone behind Collett. Second down play. Collett option right, will keep again. 50. Collett hit hard, knocked down at the 45-yard line. Up near that first down marker, though, Rob. He may be just about a half yard, a yard shy. May have a measurement. Ball is inside the Arkadelphia 45-yard line.
It's almost as though the Panthers on this drive are featuring the second option in the triple option. And before they had the fullback carrying the ball a couple of times straight. This time the quarterback is keeping. And they're a yard away from a first down.
Third down, and from here it looks actually a little less than a yard. Officially, it's a yard. Wishbone formation. Collett has his offense set. Benton leads 6-0. Collett has handoff Jones. Right side, big hole, 40. Jamie, 35. Breaks the tackle, 20. 5-yard line, and finally knocked down. Jamie Jones got a big hole on the right side, cut back to the middle of the field, broke a tackle, and picks up the first down at the 25-yard line.
Nice run indeed.
Jamie having a fine night offensively for the Panthers. 1st and 10 with 6:37 left to play, third quarter. Officials will mark the football just inside the 25-yard line of the Badgers.
That's 13 carries for 67 yards for Jones.
So Jamie doing it offensively. Cochran in the ball game. He's split wide right. Wishbone formation. Collett, hand off to the fullback. The first man threw in the wishbone.
I think that's Barker in there.
That's Barker again. And Barker's going to pick up a couple of tough yards. Roger Barker gets up off the bottom of the pile after the carry. Roger Barker, the 6'3", 210 linebacker and running back. It'll be second down. Panthers need 7. The ball at the 22-yard line of the Badgers. Clock continues to run. We're at 5:50 left to play in the third quarter. Perry is in the ball game. He's wide right for the Panthers. Wishbone. Collett. Collett comes down the line. Collett will keep. Collett the 20-yard line. Somebody grabs his jersey, pulls him down up near the 15-yard line. As Collett, as he turned the corner, somebody grabbed him from behind by the jersey and hauled him down near the 15-yard line. And close to another first down. It'll be about a yard short.
I'm sure that the Panther coaching staff, realizing that this is the same defense that gave up 225 yards to Robert Smith, put more emphasis on the running attack this week, and they haven't gone so much to the run and shoot. It's been that wishbone, and they've been eating up the yardage.
Jamie Jones, big hole, left side, 10, inside the 10, 5, touchdown, Jamie Jones.
Just a nice authoritative run. He shook off some tackles, some fancy footwork there, and just refused to go down. Nobody got a real clean shot at him. He made a nice cut there at about the 5 and pranced on in for the touchdown.
Panthers light up the scoreboard again with 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. It's 12-0. Let's see if they'll play for 2. It appears they will. Greg Mundy's in the ball game. Jamie Jones in the ball game. Roger Barker in the ball game at running backs, and the wishbone behind Collett. 2-point conversion play. Jamie Jones, right side, crawl, fights his way. Good! 2-point conversion by Jamie Jones makes it a 14-0 ball game. Timeout on the field. The score, Benton 14, the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Does that help you any? Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium as Kaufman gets set to kick off at the Panthers, and back deep again it'll be Scott Thomas for the Arkadelphia Badgers, as it's Jamie Jones scoring 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion behind his offensive line tonight. Panthers have taken a 14-0 lead. Here's the kick. It'll be short, taken by one of the up backs at the 23, fumbles the football, finally corrals it at the 26, runs to the near side, breaks the tackle at the 25, finally down at about the 28-yard line. C.J. Turner on the return for Arkadelphia. He muffed the kick, picked it up, and finally got yardage out to the 29-yard line on the return.
Going back to that extra point, the 2 points was really just a power play. Some of the linemen that were blocking on that, David McGee, Steve Wood, James Harville in there, and Jake Watney, the center, and the Mundy and Barker were in there in the backfield, and they kind of led the way for Jones.
Double wide receiver set to the right. Man in motion also is Scott Thomas. Here's Shamlis, spins, hands off to Turner. Turner stopped in the backfield. As getting up off the bottom of the pile, you see Roger Holter, and big Greg Mundy is the one that got there first.
Heath Nix in on it as well, but the main man again was Mundy getting underneath. He's just really almost too much for one blocker, especially a center who has to worry about centering the football to handle.
4 minutes, 10 seconds left to play third quarter. Benton 14, Arkadelphia nothing. Arkadelphia looking at a second down and 11 as C.J. Turner lost a yard on that last defensive play, being tackled by Mundy. I formation behind Shamlis. Shamlis sends Thomas in motion back to the far side. Has the snap. He rolls back, wants to throw, getting pressure, gets a throw off. It's going to be picked off at the 45-yard line by Goheen, and a flag is down.
I think that's even going to be offensive pass interference on that play, because Goheen was going for the ball and he tripped over the Arkadelphia receiver as he dove for the football, and he made a marvelous catch of the ball. And it is their
Benton's ball.
Offensive.
It is an interception for Goheen. Offensive pass interference, of course, declined by the Panthers. So Goheen, who had what, nine last year, picks off one here tonight, and that's his first for the season. And the Panthers have it in great shape. 1st and 10 at the Arkadelphia 46-yard line. This looks like a completely different Panther team. Of course, the competition maybe not quite as stiff.
And look at this. They're rushing into the play, and Arkadelphia barely got their team on the field.
Collett gets a handoff up the middle. He goes to the 40-yard line. I believe that's Greg Rogers on the carry as he bulls his way inside the 40. Down near the 30, they mark it up near the 38-yard line. As
working behind,
just bulled his way through there.
Working behind Gwatney and McGee, and looks like Steve Wood over on that side. Good surge on that play.
Panther runners showing a lot of determination, too, once they get past that line of scrimmage and run out of blockers. Collett brings them up in the wishbone. Collett has the snap. Handoff Jones again, the right side. Jamie, 35, cuts to the near sideline and knocked out of bounds, run out of bounds. Near the 30-yard line is Jamie Jones.
Talk about determination. Jamie's running with a lot of that. He's really showing a lot of, I don't know. He's really running strong. I don't know if
I think you're trying to say he's playing a very good football game.
He is indeed. There's just something different about the way he's approaching things tonight. Very aggressive, I guess, is what I'm trying to think.
Cochran's in the ball game. He is wide to the left, tight end Yoakum to the right side, running room to the Panthers' left. Collett has a snap. Here's a fake to Jones. Rolls left, being pressured. Collett, 30, and a flag is down as Collett goes down at about the 27-yard line. And we may either get a clip or a hold on this one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they're going to call a clip, a preliminary signal there at where the flag is at about the 33-yard line.
So that'll cost the Panthers big yardage after the run by Collett, as a walk-off will set the ball back outside the Arkadelphia 45-yard line. They'll set it down at about the 48. So the Panthers looking at a long yardage situation on a first down play. So that 15-yard walk-off, that a clip or a hold? I didn't see the indication. Personal foul. So it's first down. Ball is back at the 48-yard line of Arkadelphia. They come out of the bone. Lone set back behind Brad. Brad drops back, wants to throw, looks for Daniel, has the ball tipped up in the air, almost picked off. That pass had a chance to be intercepted twice by the Badgers before it fell to the ground.
He saw Rick Daniel breaking open in the middle and just got it out there a little late. There was a defender in between him and Daniel, and didn't get it over his head. He got a hand up and knocked it away, then it was up for grabs, but fortunately no one could pick it off.
Panthers will have a second down and 28. Just inside the Arkadelphia 48-yard line. Daniel comes wide to the right for the Panthers on this down. Again, the long setback behind Collett. Long yardage situation. Collett drops back, wants to throw, looks to the left side. It's going to be incomplete, intended for Brian Holter, and Holter was hit after the ball was out of his hands. Panther fans up on their feet wanting something called, but nothing doing on that one. That'll stop the clock with 2:33 left to play in the third quarter. And the Panthers looking at a third and very long. Third, and they need about 28 for the first and 10. They have the ball in Badger territory up near the Badger 47-yard line. Brian Holter will check out.
Collett did a good job of standing strong in that pocket that time and almost made the completion. Goheen
wide left, Daniel wide right. Handoff goes to Holter, or rather to Roger Barker, and Roger Barker's inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line, but not near enough of that first down. And the Panthers will have to punt it away with 2:19 left to play in the third quarter. It's Benton 14, Arkadelphia nothing. Well, they hope to catch Arkadelphia's defense looking for the pass. Gave it to Roger Barker. He picked up 3 tough yards. Again, it'll be Brian Holter in to punt. Thomas back deep. Brian got a beauty off last time. Here's the snap again, and not quite as much time this time. It's a wobbly kick. Thomas will let it hit at about the 15. Takes a Benton bounce. So they're going to get it before it goes to the end zone. Down near, they did. At about the 2-yard line. Down near the 2, it looked like, Rob.
Indeed, a good play there. Mundy was down there. Adam Wright, Alan Bearden was down there. I think Bearden was the one that finally ended up grabbing the ball, but the ones who got down there to knock it back out of the end zone, I saw Mundy and someone else. I didn't catch the other one, but again, Greg Mundy doing the snapping for the kicks, getting down there first underneath it.
They've got it spotted, it looks like, at about the 1-yard line. So again, for the second time tonight, the Badgers have their back to the wall. They are already trail 14-0 late third quarter. 1:37 and the clock is running.
Really a good sign to see Holter kicking so well, too. That's was a concern going in, after that rough start against Malvern.
I formation behind Chambliss. Long count. Chambliss spins, handoff. Turner finds some running room over the right side, and Turner's going to get it out over the 5-yard line, maybe to the 6.
Actually, that was Brian Barnes in there for the first time for Arkadelphia.
Barnes had just tucked in. C.J. Turner had been injured earlier and had come back in at 2nd down after a 4-yard pickup. Arkadelphia will need about 6 for the 1st and 10 from just over their 5-yard line, or actually the nose of the football right at the 5-yard line. Running room to the Badgers' left as they come to the line of scrimmage. I formation behind Chambliss. Chambliss, long count. Again, he'll keep it to the left side, and he's going to be hit hard at the 6-yard line. I see Dean Bird there, and Roger Barker is there.
Heath Nix with the initial hit, I believe.
Heath Nix got to him first. That sets up a 3rd down, and Arkadelphia will still need about 5 for the 1st and 10 as we're under a half minute left to play in the 3rd quarter. As checking in defensively for the Panthers is Roger Hughes. It's 3rd down and 5. Don't know if Arkadelphia will get another play off.
They're probably going to try and let it run out.
3, 2, 1. They will not make it. That is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score.
Oh, and they waited. There must have been exactly 25 seconds left in the quarter when they started that, because there's a flag on the field, so they may be marked back.
End of the 3rd quarter with a score. Benton 14. The Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Mention that this will be seen on Falcon Cable TV on Sunday nights at 7 a couple times. I forget to do that.
What time Sunday night?
7 o'clock.
What is it, Falcon Cable?
Yeah, Channel 4. Larry Hart, along with Rob Patrick, back at C.W. Lewis Stadium as we enter the 4th quarter with the Panthers leading 14-0. As the 4th quarter begins, it'll be 3rd down and 5 to go for Arkadelphia.
I want to remind everybody that you can see the replay of this ball game on Channel 4 on the Falcon Cable TV Sunday night at 7 p.m.
3rd down and 5 for Arkadelphia from their own 6-yard line. Panthers lead 14-0. Official stops play as the Badgers get to the line of scrimmage. 1 week from tonight, the Panthers will be in Sheridan to take on the Yellow Jackets. 3rd down 5, I formation behind Chambliss. Chambliss, long count, handoff, Thomas up the middle, hole, big hole, 10, 15. Thomas cuts to the near side, hit hard and driven down. Fumble on the play. Let's see, the ball had been whistled dead. Thomas was really hit hard as he crossed the 15-yard line. Goheen was there. Hughes was there.
I think that was Turner on the carry. He's been running a tailback, and he broke clean, picked up the 1st down. That's only the 3rd first down from Arkadelphia in this game, and looked like the ball popped loose when he was hit, but they're saying he was down when he fumbled.
And it is 1st down yardage after the Arkadelphia 17-yard line. As it is number 22 in there at tailback. I formation. Chambliss sets them on a 1st down play. Here's Chambliss, hand off to the fullback, and he is driven back hard.
Actually, Chambliss kept that time.
Kept it,
good fake.
Chambliss made a good fake, and they were both hit hard. As the fullback carried out his fake, Chambliss was hit shy of the 20.
Barker and Nix in on the tackle.
Nose of the football right at the 20-yard line. So a 2nd down, and Arkadelphia looking at about 7 needed for the 1st and 10.
Benton has pretty much dominated this game offensively. Before this series started, Arkadelphia had only run 5 plays in this half.
Chambliss has him at the line of scrimmage. Man in motion. Thomas back to the near side. Here's Chambliss rolling right, looking for a receiver. Gets the pass away. It's going to be short. Taken on the hop at about the 30-yard line. The pass was intended for Keith Wiley, the intended receiver, but it short hop him at about the 29-yard line. So it's 3rd down, 7 for Arkadelphia.
Chambliss has had his trouble in the air. He's 0 for 6 so far tonight.
All of his passes are falling short of the mark. So it's 3rd down, and Arkadelphia needing 7 for the 1st and 10. They have the ball at their 20-yard line. Panthers lead 14-0. High formation again behind Chambliss. Wide receivers to either side of the field. Chambliss, handoff, second man through, the tailback fights his way up to the 25 and got it up near the 26-yard line. As again, it was Turner on the carry.
Looks like they're going to have to measure to see if he made the 1st down.
Very close to the yardage needed for the 1st and 10 over the 25 up near the 27-yard line.
Turner's been by far their leading ball carrier. Depending on how much he made on this play, he's had 9 carries for 36 or 38 or 39 yards.
Turner's listed at 5'8", 160. He is a junior. Was injured earlier in the ball game and came back in.
They're short.
A little bit short. So short, it'll be 4th down. And less than a yard needed for the 1st and 10. Will the Badgers go for it this early in the 4th quarter? 10:29 left to play in the game.
Looks like Chambliss is staying in there. And their punter, Wiley, is moving up to the line of scrimmage, so he's not going to be deep to punt.
So they will come up to the line of scrimmage. It is Turner at the tailback spot this time. Benton Panther defense digging in, and flags fly and whistles blow, and Panther players are celebrating for some reason.
And they are, because Brian Holter, it looked like Brian had gone over the line of scrimmage, but what he'd done is just run up to the line of scrimmage. He had, and he didn't go across, so there wasn't encroachment there, but he made one of the Arkadelphia linemen move, so they got a procedure, or a motion, I guess it'd be a procedure penalty, loss of 5, so now they will have to punt.
So now Wiley will punt it away to either Goheen or Daniel, back inside their 40-yard line. Wiley in punt formation, bit of a high snap, but he pulls it in. Here's a kick. Not quite as good as his previous efforts. It'll come to Goheen at the 42. Tries the near side, now cuts back to the far side, giving ground back inside the 40. Somebody has him by the arm. He's spun down at about the 37-yard line as Goheen was spun down hard. Jake trying to find some room somewhere, just nothing doing. 9:52 left to play in the game. Ball will be spotted in Panther territory at the Panther 37.5-yard line. 1st and 10. 2 touchdown runs and a 2-point conversion run tonight by Jamie Jones. Excellent job done by the offensive line for the Panthers, and great defense played by the Panthers. Wishbone formation behind Brad Collett. Been at the bone most of the night tonight. Collett has them set, has a snap, rolls left. He'll keep 40. Collett cut down at the 45-yard line. As number 43 collared him right there, Keith Green, in on the play defensively for the Arkadelphia Badgers, but a good gain by Brad. And our scoreboard has gone out of commission. Now it's back. 25-second clock is out. Ball is marked just over the Panther 45-yard line. Clock running, 9:10 left to play.
Collett's run with authority tonight.
Collett will send Cochran out to the right side. Wishbone formation behind Brad, sets his offensive line, has the snap. Handoff right side to Roger Barker on the carry, and Roger's going to be up near the 48, maybe the 49-yard line, and he should have a 1st and 10, Rob.
Looks like
depending on where they mark the ball, should be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers. It is. 1st down, Benton at their own 49-yard line. Well, they would like nothing better than to eat up some of that clock with a 14-point lead, and they have the football.
This really looks like the Benton Panthers that Benton fans have been used to, running that wishbone and just grinding it out. Doing a good job.
Matt Welch, wide right. Collett has it. Handoff Jones, right side, big hole, 45. Jones, 40, 35, breaks a tackle, 30, 25. Jamie, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, knocked out of bounds, just shy of the goal line. Jamie Jones on a great carry down the near sideline. If he had just a little more room to the outside, he could have evaded those last 2 tacklers, I believe, Rob.
He really used Roger Barker's block really well to cut outside, and he may have stepped out before they marked him out, but it was a fine run, and
He was tight roping.
He almost scored it. He almost scored.
He was tight roping that sideline, wasn't he?
He was.
They mark it at about the 2, just inside the 2. First and goal, Benton, as Greg Mundy is in there. He's at right halfback. Collett, quarterback, spins, handoff. Handoff goes to Rogers, and Rogers is down near the goal line. No indication yet as they unpile.
They want to try and get this one in here because they were frustrated last time. They got down here and had 2 or 3 chances right on the goal line and couldn't put it in, and that's very unlike a Benton Panther team. As strong as this offensive line has been blocking lately, I'd have to think this time they'll get it in.
Second down and goal as they come to the line of scrimmage. Here's Collett. Collett, handoff again. It goes to touchdown Benton as Greg Rogers on the carry scores from 1 yard out.
Just determination on that one, and he got it in.
1 yard touchdown run by Greg Rogers as the Panther players and fans celebrate a 20-0 lead with 7:51 left to play in the game and the point after to come as Heath Nix will check in.
Yeah, I was trying to figure up here how much yardage now that Jamie Jones has put together. Let's see.
He should be getting close to 100.
Oh, well over 100 now.
Here's Heath Nix for the extra point. Out of the hold of Jake Goheen. Snap, ball put down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field, 7:51 left to play in the game with a score, Benton 21, the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium, 7:51 left to play, and what an exciting ball game this has been offensively for the Panthers, Rob.
It's really been a coming out party for these Panthers, and back to the old tried and true wishbone, and Jamie Jones has really stepped to the fore. He's now got 145 yards on 16 carries. That's an unofficial total. It may be more or less, but a great night for Jamie.
Here's Kaufman's kick to the 15. Back to the 20 is Turner. 25. Turner with the ball. Breaks the tackle over the 30. 35. Turner breaks the tackle. The 40. The 45. The 50. Knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. As Jake Goheen got over there to knock him out of bounds, and maybe a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Jake.
That's his job as a safety man back there. He was the last line of defense, and he had to make the tackle. He had to help from the sideline, just not to turn her out of bounds, but a nice return.
Ball will be spotted at the Panther 44-yard line. There's a Panther shaking up on the sideline. First and 10 for the Badgers at the Benton 44. Chambliss remains at quarterback, has his backs in the eye. Man in motion back to the near side. Chambliss, long count, has the snap. Handoff goes to Turner. He tries the middle, picks up a couple of tough yards before the Benton Panther defense got to him as Heath Nix there. And also Hambrick. So is Nix and Hambrick in on the tackle. Made the stop at about the Panther 43-yard line. It'll be second down after a pickup of 2. The Badgers will need 8 for the first and 10. Wiley will go wide to the left. Running room to the Badgers left. There's up to the line of scrimmage in the eye. And in motion back to the near side again. Chambliss has the snap, wants to throw, being rushed, being hit by Greg Mundy and dropped by Mundy and Nix.
Guess who? He just shot through there like he knew the count and was on. He was on Chambliss before Chambliss could get his arm up to throw. He was going to throw a quick pass, and he never had a chance.
Mundy and Nix almost made a wish on him because Mundy had him high and Nix had him around the feet.
It was only a loss of like 4 yards or so. Kind of give you an indication of how quickly he got in there. He didn't even have a chance to backpedal.
He barely got his arm cocked. It is third down and 12. 6:10 left to play in the game. Benton 21, Arkadelphia nothing. Turner in motion to the left side. Chambliss drops straight back, wants to throw, throws down the middle. Has it intercepted back at the 26-yard line.
Looks like Rick Daniel.
Rick Daniel came up with the interception back at the Benton 26-yard line. So Rick Daniel, a happy youngster as he trots off the field to the Benton bench. Panthers take over, 5:58 left to play. It's been pretty much the way the Panthers won it tonight.
Excellent defense, pass defense. Now we're going to get a chance for some of the second line players to play. Gary Tidball coming in at quarterback for his first varsity action here, and it's got to feel good for the Benton Panthers right now. 21-0 with just a little over 5 minutes left to play.
So Brad Collett will get a rest as Tidball will come in at quarterback for the Panthers. As we'll try to check as many. There's a lot of white helmets in there right now that are sophomores. Flags dropped as the Panthers get to the line of scrimmage.
Not enough men on the field, and they end up getting a delay to boot. So
we may have some difficulty because
you get some second liners in there, and that's going to happen sometime.
And the same numbers also. We have a number 34 with a white helmet on out there. So a 5-yard walk-off against the Panthers. 5:29 left to play. Benton with a commanding 21-0 lead. Jamie Jones, 2 touchdown runs tonight. Greg Rogers, the other, of 1 yard. Panthers at the line of scrimmage. Tidball is at quarterback. Seeing his first action of the season, he spins, handoff to the first man through. He'll be jammed up at about the 23-yard line.
I believe that's Judd Fight running at fullback, number 34, and number 44 is Matt Bowen at the halfback spot. Both are sophomores, so they're not on the regular list, but
Cochran has been in the ball game as he will check out. Panthers will have a second down. They'll lead about 13 for the first and 10. 2 sophomores in there at running back. They're in the wishbone behind Tidball. Tidball spins, hands off, and a run out to about the 25-yard line. As in on the carry for the Panthers that time, and getting off the bottom of the pile was Hughes, I believe.
Chris Briggs made the run on that play. He's number 45.
So that will be set up a third down. Panthers will need 12 with 4.5 minutes left to play in the game. Panthers out of the huddle, there to the line of scrimmage. Cochran will be wide to the left side. Here's Tidball, spins, will keep to the left side. Tidball at the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, and spun down to the 26 goes Tidball. So Tidball, seeing his first series, 1989, the junior quarterback, runs the Panthers out of downs. They'll punt it away with less than 4 minutes left to play in the ball game. As dropping back deep will be Scott Thomas. Holter has handled the punting so far tonight for the Panthers and has done a whale of a job. Holter's in there again. As we talked earlier, he's been very deliberate getting those kicks away.
It's really been a coming out party for the Benton ground game. Second half, they've run the ball every time except twice.
High snap. Holter gets the punt away, but it's blocked, and it's going to be covered by Arkadelphia back at the 10-yard line. Holter did a good job of getting that punt, getting it down, but he did not have time to get it away. It's blocked. Arkadelphia will take over at the 10-yard line as we have 3:29 left to play in the game. Arkadelphia has yet to score in this season. They were shut out 26-0 last week. They trailed 21-0 this week.
Another challenge for the Benton defense. A lot of the second teamers in there, but several first teamers still playing. Well, not several. I guess there's 3 or 4 in there. I still see Jared Hambrick, Alan Bearden.
And you know they would like to pitch a shutout at Arkadelphia. Shamla stays at quarterback for the Badgers. 10-yard line, first down play. Handoff goes to the first man through. He's going to battle his way inside the 5. That is Damon Hart on the carry. And he is inside the 5 down to about the 4. So Damon Hart on the carry for the Badgers. It'll be second down. Ball is at the 4. Goheen, one of the tacklers for the Panthers. Ball is at the 4, second down coming up. And they can make a first and 10, it looks like, can't they?
Yes.
Ball at the 4-yard line. Chambliss, left side, hands off, tries to hand off to Hart, now pulls it back out. He's going to be swarmed under back around the 5-yard line.
Nice job by Bearden and Mundy in there on that play.
There again.
Roger Hughes underneath there, Roger Barker.
so it's third down. The ball will be spotted just inside the Panther 5-yard line. As the scoreboard clock ticks down toward that 2-minute mark, Benton 21, Arkadelphia nothing. Less than 2 minutes left to play. Benton Panther defense digs in.
Got that first-string defensive line in there with Hambrick and Mundy and Nix and Wright and Bearden.
Third down play from about the 5. Chambliss calls, has the snap. Chambliss handoff to Hart, and Hart's inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. It'll be fourth down. They can pick up a first down right at the goal line. It's fourth down here, and they'll still need about 3 to go as we have a timeout on the field with the score. Benton 21, the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment.
It's hot.
A minute 30 left to play in the ball game. When time resumes, Arkadelphia will have it fourth down. They'll need about 3 for both a first down and a touchdown, Rob. Ball is marked inside the 5-yard line.
I'm sure they'd like to get this first touchdown of the season under their belt just for next week and the rest of the season. But Benton, of course, has a pride in its defense. They want to shut out the Badgers just like El Dorado did. Those two teams, El Dorado and Benton, are two of the favorites in the conference, and you don't really want to compare scores, but I'm sure Benton wants to match El Dorado's speed of shutting out Arkadelphia.
Fourth down play for Chambliss and his Badgers. Chambliss hands off to Turner. Turner's going to be cut down shy of the goal line, and also, I believe, shy of the first down. Benton should take over. First and 10 for the Panthers, and only a minute 29 left to play in the ball game. You know, the Panther defense did what they wanted to.
They've really done a good job of handling Arkadelphia's offense all the way around. A fine night for the Benton defense, and the offense as well. Again, several of the second teamers, some third teamers getting in there now. A lot of white helmets. That means they're sophomores, and a lot of sophomores. They've got Matt Bowen and Chris Briggs, a junior, in the backfield. They've got Judd Fight at fullback.
Tidwell hands off to the runner. He's out over the 5 up near the 7-yard line as we're under a minute left to play.
It looked like Bowen on the carry there.
It was Bowen on the carry. It'll be second down as we see a lot of white helmets out on the field for the Panthers.
I wish we could tell you who all of them are. I can't pick out all of the linemen. I don't remember just off the top of my head who all they are, but
we'll try to get
you tune into the replay of this game on Falcon Cable Channel 4 on Sunday night at 7, and you'll be able to see who they are and recognize them if they're yours or someone you know.
Again, a run straight up the middle. I really didn't expect to see this many sophomores in the game tonight. Rob, I look for an extremely close ball game.
Well, I knew that Arkadelphia was, with their size problem and their youth, that Benton, if they didn't have any big breakdowns, that they could possibly run up a score on Arkadelphia just because of their strength, just out of the strength of the team, and they have certainly shown well and should be proud of this 21-0 victory.
I think you can say they have rebounded well after that
indeed
heartbreaking loss last week to Malvern.
They showed the character that is typical of Benton Panther teams under Dwight Fight. They didn't let the breakdown, the disappointments of not scoring on a couple of chances that they had earlier in the game. You can imagine the score if they had cashed in on every opportunity they had, but they didn't let those disappointments get to them. They didn't have the letdowns that they had last week, and that's a good sign. That's something that really carries you through the season, a character builder.
Unofficially, we have Jamie Jones with 145 yards rushing tonight. Here's Tidball, will hand off.
That's Chris Briggs on the carry there.
Briggs on the carry. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and pushback. And again, Arkadelphia will take a timeout. Timeout on the field with the score, Benton 21, the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Panther football will continue in a moment. Panthers looking at a 4th down as Holter will kick from his end zone.
Arkadelphia called a timeout there to try to get Benton to go ahead and punt. They blocked the last one. It was actually because of a high snap, but they hope to get a hold of this one and get some points.
Scott Thomas back deep for the Badgers. 12 seconds left to play. This time it's a low snap. Holter barely gets it away. Not a good kick. Good bounce, though. Bounces past Thomas. He'll try to run it down now. Lets it go as it goes across the midfield stripe. And it's going to be 1 second showing on the scoreboard clock as time is out on the field. And only 1 tick of the clock left in this one. And the Benton Panthers, barring a miracle long run or a touchdown pass, will shut out the Arkadelphia Badgers.
It's always good to get that first victory under their hats, and they've got it now.
It's all over. That's the end of the game. The final score, the Benton Panthers 21 and the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Back with post-game comments right after this 60-second break. It's all over at C.W. Lewis Stadium. The final score, the Benton Panthers 21 and the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. We're trying to total up some quick stats here at the end of the game for you. Again, next week, 1 week from tonight, the Panthers will have their first road game of the season as they will go on down to the road, down Highway 35 to take on the Sheridan Yellow Jackets and try to go for their second victory of the season. Last score we had on the Bryant-Malvern game at halftime, Malvern was leading Bryant by a score of 7-0. Once again, the final score here, 21-0 in favor of the Panthers. Panthers got their scoring on the touchdown runs of 5 yards and about a yard out from Jamie Jones and about a yard out from Greg Rogers. Unofficially, we had Jamie Jones rushing for 145 yards a few minutes ago. We're checking those totals right now. Back with some post-game comments right after this 60-second break. Hart along with Rob Patrick back at C.W. Lewis Stadium. The scoreboard clock is off. The post-game festivities by the Benton cheerleaders, fans, players, and band is over. And
the Benton tradition going out to the field and playing the alma mater. And it's always
that's win or lose too.
It is, and it's always more festive when no victory is on the board. And tonight the Panthers got their first one of hopefully many for the 1989 season, 21-0 over Arkadelphia.
How about some Rob Patrick quick stats?
Well, these of course are unofficial since I put them together. But I have Jamie Jones with 16 carries, 145 yards, marked by that big 49-yard run that set up the final touchdown for the Panthers. Greg Rogers scored that touchdown. He had a big night, Jamie did, and the offense really did have a big night. And you got to credit the offensive line and those backs too. A lot of the time, the blockers in the backfield for Jones were Roger Barker and Greg Mundy, two big defensive stalwarts. So a lot of both, they went both ways a lot tonight, and they really helped that offensive line with the blocking. Of course, the offensive line featuring the center Jay Gwatney and the guards David McGee. Let's see if I can remember just off the top of my head. I know that Sam McCampbell plays the offensive line, and Tony Hester and Steve Wood in there at the tackles with some help from James Harville. And the tight ends, of course, Drew Yoakum and Brian Holter working there. So a good job from them, and it really showed up in the stats for the Benton rushing game. They overall, unofficially, they had 234 yards on the ground, 28 in the air. And of course the defense was dominant again. Really did a good job, and you have to credit the whole defense. And of course Greg Mundy, the real leader of that defense in the opponent's backfield all night. And
I think we'd be remiss too if we didn't mention Brian Holter's punting tonight.
It's a good thought because that was a problem in the first game, and Holter steadied that problem and made it a plus on a couple of occasions. And that has got to be a real boost for the Panthers, because punting and the kicking game so much a part of the field position, which goes with a good, strong defense that the Panthers have. And it really, if you don't play the kicking game well, that can negate a lot of the things that the defense does. So they worked on that, and it certainly showed tonight, and another plus for the Panthers, obviously.
Well, Rob, I know you have to get away to get some post-game interviews again. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Let's hope it cools off before we go to Sheridan next week.
I'm for that. I enjoyed it too, Larry. And hopefully, again, this is the first of many victories we'll be telling the folks about. And again, we want to remind them to watch the replay of this first Panther victory this Sunday night at 7 on Channel 4 on the Falcon Cable.
Okay, Rob, thank you. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Once again, the final score, the Benton Panthers 21 and the Arkadelphia Badgers nothing. Tonight's play-by-play of Benton Panther football has been brought to you on K107 FM, sponsored by the Thomas Real Estate and Insurance Agency.